Down the line. Advantage Adelaide. Over the boundary. 57. Oh, you can't do that.
It's a free kick.
You cannot do that,
That
Riley.
should be a free kick against.
Wow.
Did he get away with one? I was looking down the other end of the ground.
He towed it away afterwards.
And it is deliberate. That is deliberate. That is a free kick.
That's a free kick all
Has
day
to be
long.
a free kick.
Exactly what he was complaining about at that end of the Hawthorn game.
Can't do that. Ray Chamberlain, welcome.
Good evening, gents. How are we?
Luckily, we know someone who can tell us.
I hope you can't tell us because we're going to have an almighty blue if you don't.
Tell us.
Yeah. So I heard words such as time wasting, of which there are laws in the laws of Australian rules football, but there is a specific free kick that relates to this very example. So when the ball goes out of bounds, the responsibility of the player is to either leave the ball alone, or if you're in possession of the ball, you hand it to the boundary umpire or put it down on the ground. So this action here would warrant a free kick being paid.
So why? Tell us why they wouldn't have paid it. It's not like it's one of those ones where they're in the wrong position.
No, I suspect that there's something that's distracted them. So I don't hear the umpire communication, but it's right at the death of the game, and I don't think it's got anything to do with what happened. I think it's what they've switched some positioning. And I think their mind's gone to balls out of bounds, commentary happens between one another, and they've just missed it.
All of them.
Well, so they'll be talking to one another. If you have a look at the fellow who's closest, Garry, he's actually looking at the umpire, his teammate, and then he picks the ball up. So, yeah, it's a missed free kick, no doubt. And
I want to
they need
run
to
a
pay
different theory past you.
Go for
What
it.
if he went to toe it up and got it all wrong and said to the umpire, that was to the umpire?
I think he had two goes over the boundary line. He knocked it the first time with his hand and then he kicked it the second time with his foot. Gerard, you pay a free kick.
If he gets away with that, Gerard, every single bloke's going, yeah. Trying to tow it to you.
Do you get one away with one earlier in the game as well?
Yeah, so I found Riley, he was wound up. You know, it's a big occasion over there, you know, record crowd and whatever. But I think there was a situation where there was a free kick paid to Maynard and the umpire, here it is here actually. And you can hear the communication. And so you go, why doesn't he pay a 50-metre penalty there? And I suspect why is because Darcy Cameron, who is a very smart player, I go back to when they played Geelong at the death, took his hand off Blitzarves, received the holding the ball free kick, not a ball-up pin. He knows what's going on. And he's saying to Riley, give it here, give it here. So I think the umpire's gone, I'm not going to reward that behaviour. But he was on thin ice, and then right on quarter time he conceded a 50. So I think the big beard was wound up.
All right, I was curious, so when does a throw-in get recalled? The throw-in that led to the Peatling goal looked like one of those ones to my eye. They go, nah, that just didn't make it, go again.
Yeah, I think if we'll unpack this with the lab, which we've done some work, and you can see where they're set up. They're very deep. Our boundary umpire's requirement is to throw the ball to land at 18 metres, which might sound like a random number, but that's the number that they've been given. You'll see that the rucks are set up, and they can set up where they like, but they're about 35 metres away from where the boundary umpire is, Gerard. Yep. And when this ball gets thrown in, we'll have a little look at the measurement that the lab's whipped up to see where it lands. Now, you go, oh, that's drastically short. It lands at 17.5 metres. Okay. Now, the only time a field umpire will recall a throw is if it is incredibly short or sideways in direction and the rucks are unable to contest it. So this here at 17.5 metres is right on the landing zone. The rucks are allowed to set up where they want, but then they've got to adjust accordingly.
So well done them.
Yep, well, and you know, great job to the umpires in that instance, and the boundary umpire's got 2 more bicep reps this week to make sure he gets the other half a metre, Garry.
No, that's unarguable, inarguable.
We know 18 metres, I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
You come away with something? All right, the crow throw?
Yeah. So, look, these are free kicks. There's no disputing that. And so I think what it comes down to is a couple of things to go, well, how might you miss this? I listened to the commentary, Garry, and it was at Dan Curtin. He sort of chunked one into the middle, into the corridor, and it's like he didn't mean it to go there. No. And then what happens is, as a result of that kick, the Collingwood zone and their structure's out of play. You get free transition through the middle of the ground and a goal results. Well, the umpire's structures are also impacted by that ball movement. And if we look at the line of sight, and I know they've got the lab have sorted it out here, the umpire's looking directly, you can see him at the bottom of the screen there, and when they roll that back, that replay, he's got the back of Ben Keys directly looking at him. So he can't see those hands, right? The other umpires have tried to adjust from that transition through the middle of the ground. They haven't been able to get outside play. With the Keane one, it's very similar. You've got the bottom of the screen, you've got your outside play, as all the coaches are begging them to do. Well, he's looking at Keane's back, and the umpire is inside the field of play. He's got two players directly in his line of sight. What's interesting, I think, is that you've got a boundary umpire there staring at it, and in the other one, in the goal square, you've got a goal umpire who's staring at it. But in about 2007, and don't pin me on the date, but it was around that time, it was about 3 years into my career, we had a summer where we gave whistles to all umpires and an opportunity to pay free kicks. It was a lukewarm response, Gary, and we shelved that after 12 months.
I'm going to let you off, you and your brethren. I'm going to let you off on the keys. That's absolutely explainable. No, you're not getting off on the other one. There's 4 umpires. He's done that in open play, and that you've got to be in a position to call that.
Yep, and as we rolled it back, and I'll email it through to you, obviously...
I saw it.
But you can't be
we've got to
everywhere
be
for everything.
Well, we've got 4 of you. You've got to be better than that.
Yes, and it's 180 metres long and about 100 metres wide, Gary.
It's a throw in open play that 4 of you didn't get picked up.
Did you see where they were standing?
I don't care where they're standing.
Well, you need to, because it matters.
I'm not talking about this one.
I know this one. I appreciate that.
You can't have a game of footy. All right, we get that. I understand that. So
that one's fine. We'll get a tick off there.
100%, I'm letting you off on that.
I appreciate that.
How this one can't get picked up, like that, come on. Come on. We can't have a game umpired by 4 people where that is not picked up. I'm sorry.
OK, well, I'll show you the 4 umpire system.
I don't care where they are.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm sorry. You've got 4 of them and the bloke is throwing it out with no one around him.
Adjusted to get it.
This throw.
The evolution, and so a little bit of this is the players are emboldened to take their chances because of what we did with either the actual law or the interpretation, where you used to have to do this, and now it's enough to do this.
So historically, the ball needed to be projected off the ball-carrying hand by the fist. Like, that is where the power came from, and that's what moved the football. And the rule, I've got it written here, it says that what is a handball? So the definition of it by the laws of the game. The act of holding the ball in one hand and disposing of it by hitting it with a clenched fist of the other hand. And so from the interpretation and application perspective, you can move the ball with the ball-carrying hand. You've just got to catch up and get a snicko on it with the other hand, and that's play away, no free kick, as opposed to propelling the ball off the ball-carrying hand with the fist. So that point of difference is really interesting when you go back and look at Keys, who threw the ball but almost caught up with it with the other hand. So you can see where this, as you say, emboldens the player who wins the football to potentially get a bit creative with the way in which they dispose.
Give us an example when you caught the player red-handed.
Sam Mitchell, who's got the fastest hands that I've ever seen in football, let alone kicking off both feet and doing whatever, and he didn't... I was in a position I probably shouldn't have been, to be fair, and he did a little throw, and I was looking straight at it, so I paid it, and he just went. That was the best.
I mean, I'm getting away with that for years.
Not that night.
Acknowledgement from the master.
Last one, insufficient intent. This was a weird one because no one seemed quite clear whose boot it came off.
Yeah, look, we look at this here and it comes out forcefully directly towards the line. So, obviously, the umpire who comes in turns. I assume someone from his team has said, pay insufficient intent. But now we have confusion because it's like, whose foot did this actually come off? And, Gerard, if it deflects off another toe, it can't be paid as insufficient intent if another player's touched it. And if we look here, I can't tell you whether it's steel into hinge or just off hinge. And so my question and my curiosity would be, did we ever consider just throwing it in?
Yeah.
And if we didn't, why not?
Because we're becoming obsessed with, by stealth, introducing last touch out of bounds.
Indeed.
Don't do that. Just throw the ball in until they change the rule.